Thomas, welcome back again. Glad you called back.
Yes, thank you. I have a question. Has any research been done involving AGROTAIN, 30% nitrogen solution, cotton on 30-inch rows, and heel drop?
You get all that?
On cotton and field crops?
You say cotton
Yes, that's correct, cotton.
and field crops as well?
Just cotton on 30-inch rows, and the cotton is heel dropped as opposed to just planted.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thanks. All right.
Yeah, so we've been doing some cotton work. It's been with Derek Oosterhouse at University of Arkansas, and he's been looking at how our products perform. I think he's still working on that project. I'm not sure that he has a lot of results yet, but again, there's another crop where loss potentials are pretty high. That cotton plant grows when the weather is very warm, and losses are significant.
You're not in cotton country there, but
No, that's
I know
a foreign subject for an Illinois guy, so I'd have to beg off to know how that, but generally nitrogen-using plants respond to good nitrogen management.
And that's the second call we've gotten about the narrower rows too, be it corn or cotton in this case. So they're out there, call it experimenting, but they're getting the most productivity they can. I mean, that's what every acre is money, obviously, even more than ever before. Even with prices where they are, you get that same risk and cost values in there the same.
That's right.
Well, even when nitrogen's high, but the commodities are also high, every bushel counts. It counts even when they're low, but it really counts now. So
Exactly.
It's important.
All right. We have Roy on the phone from Arkansas. Thank you for joining us, Roy. What's your question for our panel?
Thank you for answering my call.
You bet.
I was curious if I use the granule AGROTAIN and plow it under, would that be help?
And plow it under.
Plow it under immediately?
Sure.
Yeah, so if you're doing an incorporation like a plowing incorporation, as long as you don't have urea granules on the surface, which I don't think you would, then volatilization loss is really not a problem. So if it's under the soil surface, then what happens is when that ammonia is formed, it quickly has another hydrogen ion from the soil, and that helps to prevent the loss. And so losses are pretty minimal if you incorporate that fertilizer.
All right, just a couple of minutes left for you to join us. If you would like, our telephone line's open to hear from you at 877-731-6733. Again, toll free. Like to hear from you before we have to say goodnight. 877-731-6733. We go to Lone Star State. Melvin's called us. Welcome to the program, Melvin.
Yeah, I've got a question. I've been using 32% OUAN, and they sold at my feed dealer. They sold me AGROTAIN Ultra last year, and I wanted to know how does that compare to AGROTAIN Plus? And
That's a
all
good.
Very good. Yeah, thanks for the call. Listen off air here. We'll answer that for you.
That's a good question, Melvin. AGROTAIN Ultra is a more concentrated AGROTAIN than the original AGROTAIN, so that's why we called it Ultra. AGROTAIN Plus is a dry concentrated granule powder, and it has two inhibitors in it. It's specifically designed for UAN, so it's an above ground protection component is AGROTAIN, and a below ground protection AGROTAIN agent that slows down denitrification and leaching losses for about 8 weeks. So it's a dual inhibitor product, triple action product.
Very good. Question here, a viewer that couldn't hold on here, Greg, says, where can we go to find out information about the 7 Wonders research? We're going to have Dr. Below on Thursday, but where could they go for that information?
Yeah, Dr. Below has a website. It's called 7wondersofcorn.com, I think. Is that right?
There it is, right there.
There it is on the screen. That's the best spot to go.
Very good. And with that, we have one more caller, I'm told. We try to get Bob in here before we have to say goodnight. Bob, you made it, and you're from Martin State here, Illinois. Welcome.
Okay, I got a question about I no-till corn, and I spray 28% on top.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to know whether it'd be beneficial to use AGROTAIN or AGROTAIN Plus, and which one would give me the best return on investment.
Very good. Thanks, Bob. A no-till question here to close things out.
Well, no-till is a tough environment. You're leaving a lot of residue out there, so volatility is a huge issue. So, you certainly want to use an AGROTAIN containing product. Whether or not he would use AGROTAIN Plus or AGROTAIN kind of depends on the soil types he's dealing with, the amount of nitrogen he's applying. But in general, we've been finding awfully good results going with AGROTAIN Plus, particularly in no-till, particularly if a person is putting on, I would say, the majority of their nitrogen at that pre-plant time, which he's probably talking about. If he's doing a big-time split, he may want to alter that program and just use AGROTAIN. But it would depend on his, what his agronomist would tell him to do and what they think or assess the big nitrogen loss to be for that particular field or farm or whatever.
Well, you guys are getting a good warm-up here for the Commodity Classic and at the AGROTAIN booth there at the trade show. A lot of these same questions will be coming up here. We've got just a couple of minutes before we have to say goodnight. And thanks to our callers, we want to give each of you a chance for some final thoughts. And Martin, start with you. All the things we talked about tonight, what would you like to leave with our viewers?
Well, I guess the whole concept behind the show tonight was weather and how it relates to nitrogen. And obviously there are huge interactions. I mean, weather is the major factor that really determines everything. And how you manage your nitrogen and using our technology is a great help. I always say that there's magic in these hybrids that are out here now in the Corn Belt.
Boy.
And so to extract that magic and get these max yields, you got to, reduce. And the other major factor is nitrogen that you can control. So if you can use our technology to help you get that magic out of those hybrids, we're seeing some super value, and so we're excited to talk to the growers at the Commodity Classic and anywhere about how to take advantage of our technology.
Boy, I can sure tell. Thank you very much. Good to see you. We're back here Thursday night with you again, Martin.
Yep.
Greg Schwab, the Director of Agronomy, Koch Industries, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's like Martin said, weather is the overriding factor. And then, I guess some of the things that we learned tonight is that even in cold weather, we can have significant losses. And then, like one of our callers brought up, it's also about the value of the product. And so, if you can save nitrogen, if you can produce more bushels, especially with the price of corn, it's going to be something that you really want to check into and make sure that you're not losing nitrogen.
Very good. Take a break and we'll see you Thursday night.
Sounds good.
All right, you can take a break. See you then. All right, thanks for joining us tonight, viewers. This is part one of two programs AGROTAIN brings to you this week on RFD-TV Live. Greg and Martin will be back Thursday evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central Time. We hope you'll join us then. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you at Commodity Classic as well, we hope. I'm Mark Oppold. Good night from rural America's most important network.